I'm using my Windows laptop. My Mac, for some reason, I upgraded to Mountain Lion, and now when I try to record on either using Photo Booth or iMovie, the sound is just horribly out of sync. So I don't know if that can be fixed or not. I got a few records to show you. I'm gonna do this. I have a few videos I'm gonna make rather than just make it all one really long video. I got some new Beatles records here that I kind of wanted to talk about. I've been rapping with Jimmy, aka Earl Suave, on YouTube here. We kind of been talking about the Beatles pressings and the way they sound. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. I got Abbey Road spinning right now, the reissue, obviously. I did have an original pressing, American pressing. I got rid of it though because of the sound. It wasn't. I mean, it was in decent shape, but it was a little too dirty sounding. I figured I'd find it like a fresh, like a newer pressing or something. But I never did, because I used to see them a lot at garage sales or any used bins and things. But I haven't seen one for a while, so I've been without Abbey Road on vinyl for a while until just recently. So anyway, Jimmy and I have been talking about. He kind of had an issue with his Abbey Road pressing, saying that it didn't really sound that great, and there was kind of something was off about the sound. So I threw mine on. I listened to the rock side 2, obviously. Here comes the sun all the way through the end. He said something about side 1 that didn't really sound that great. So I put it on, and mine was just fine. So I think he got a bum pressing. Happens sometimes. He did notice some marks on the vinyl. I did too on mine. All my repressings here. Now there's some places where you get like a record from that's been pressed at GI or Tele or whatever you want to call it. Those records are just absolutely immaculate, and you pay the price for them. You pay about $30 on average for a record pressed at one of those 2 places. I'm not sure where these were pressed, but a modern record pressing plant. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the music here. I don't have another copy of Abbey Road to compare this to, so I can't really talk much about the sound quality between Abbey Road and an original pressing. But I didn't pick up all the remasters of the Beatles because I really want the mono box set when that comes out, and some of the early, like say Fab 4 records and stuff like that, like the early Beatles. I really don't, I'm not the biggest fan of that, so kind of having those records. It would be kind of pointless for me, you know what I mean? Plus, the box set was really expensive. So, that being said, I just picked up a few to kind of, see what they sound like. Abbey Road, we're listening to it right now. I don't know if you hear it. It's great. I did some comparisons this morning of a couple here that I did pick up. I'm going to start with this one because it's in sequential order. The White Album, the Beatles. Really impressed with the packaging of the Beatles White Album. Here, I took the plastic off. Obviously a gatefold, just like the original stereo. Has the embossed Beatles on here rather than like just a paint, or whatever, or the printing process. The cool thing, it opens up from the sides. It's got the black inner sleeves like the original record did. It's got the paper sleeves, but they are lined with I think maybe rice paper. The UK Apple logo, which is really cool. I like the way it looks much better compared to the American Apple logo. Just the style of font they use around the rim, and then just the quality of it just looks higher quality compared to the American version. Yes, it did come with the pictures of the guys of the Beatles. There's 3. Where's my 4th one? Oh, there it is. Come on. Like I have another press that has these as a poster, but here we go. There's John. Oops. There's John. Here's George. Ringo. Paul. So that was nice that they reproduced that. That was really nice. And it does have the poster, which I might not dig out right now. You know what? Screw it. Let's dig it out. The poster here. just like the original. It's got all the lyrics on it, and it's kind of a collage on the back side here. Yeah, so those of you who own White Albums know about this poster, so I'm not really going to go into details or anything like that. Anyway, the White Album, one of my favorite Beatles albums of all time. Not so much because of the quality of the music, it's just, you know, the recording quality actually is not that great. The overall recording quality of it is not that great. Just the production of it it's not the best production in the world. But there are so many classic songs on here. You name it, it's the Beatles' White Album. I have compared it in sound quality to my earlier pressing of the White Album. This is a 80s press. Now this is a digital master. The sound difference. Now I don't have an original White Album. I mean, those are very expensive, and they're hard to find. If you do find them, they're just ridiculously overpriced. I got this one for about $2 at a garage sale, maybe $5. I can't quite remember. Anyway, the sound quality compared, I could tell the difference immediately. Okay, so this is what a 1987, digital master would sound like, and it's light years behind the current reissue here. Okay, the one you can buy right now, go out in the store. But it's such a cool feeling to be able to crack the shrink on a sealed Beatles record. You know what I mean? That was really cool. Anyway, this is completely flat, completely lifeless. It's really squished. Now, I mean, what I mean by squished is like there's a lot of compression added to it to boost the the overall levels up. It sounds like ass. I thought it sounded good originally. When I've had it for so long, I thought it sounded hey, this doesn't sound too bad, until I put this on. The current remastered, and I'm telling you, the volume levels are very similar as far as like the overall volume of comparing the two. But this, knowing about how they press these or master these, they used very little limiting or compression on these remasters, which is you can really tell the difference. Now, when something is compressed and squished, there's no real like dynamics between the instruments. Like the cymbals crashing or like the drums and things like that. Everything sounds just squished together, and this, fortunately, on this version of the White Album, sounds great. Even though it comes from a digital master that they could have done a much higher resolution master. I can live with it because it sounds better, and it's a Beatles record that doesn't have any ticks or pops or any noise going on in it. You know what I mean? So I'm really happy with that. Another pressing I purchased was Let It Be. I don't think it's the greatest Beatles album ever recorded. It's probably one of their worst, actually, in my honest opinion. But I've always liked it. I've always liked Let It Be. I like the raw sounding recordings, and the songs that are on there. They're still high quality. I like the John Lennon compositions on this album, like Dig a Pony, Across the Universe. And there's the George Harrison song, I'm Your Mine, on here. It's just freaking fabulous. So I am fortunate to own an original UK pressing, stereo pressing. The jacket's kind of crappy, but the record is absolutely mint. This one I paid a whopping $5 for it at the garage sale. Just really, this is the original. This is pressed in 1970 or whatever, stereo. Just clean as a whistle. Now, I popped it on today to kind of just get a little, keep it fresh in my mind, to compare it with a new pressing of Let It Be. This is the original, and this is the new pressing. I did notice some differences almost immediately again here too. Now this is an all analog production chain, recorded on tape, mixed down to a master tape, and then from the master tape onto vinyl. This is what this is, okay? Now this is recorded on tape. This is the same master tapes. They were remastered. Recorded on tape, remastered onto a new master, and then converted into digital, and then from there onto vinyl. I did notice a lot more high-end sparkle and clarity on this pressing, the new remaster versus the original analog, all analog chain. Now, this sounds great. It sounds really fat, it sounds great, it sounds analog. But this one, there's a little extra going on here. I mean, it still sounds great, it sounds fat, it sounds warm, it sounds bright, it's got that nice high-end EQ happening. but there's a little more openness in space happening. It's like the mix was opened up a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like, almost as if you're kind of like standing in the room listening to them record these sessions. Not, you know, it's not like mind-blowing, you know, like vinyl, you know, type. I've heard some like pressings, like old Zeppelin pressings that are just mind-blowing, you know, like analog pressings. It's not the case here, but it sounds really, really good. A little more open and a little more three-dimensional compared to the original analog pressing. This is fat and warm. This is fat, warm, bright, and open. So if anybody's out there wondering, you know, how, you know, like, you know, I'd still rather have the original versus the new remasters. What I would say is, you know, the price you're going to pay for original, save some money and get modern remasters. These on sale, $50 at the Fetus. You know what I mean? You can probably still find them for that cheap online somewhere or something. I know the average price is like $22. Yeah. So that's my opinion on the Beatles remasters. Jimmy kind of wanted to know a little bit about them too, so I thought I'd make this video. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna pick up a couple more remasters. You know, of the stereo versions. Help is one of them. Even though the split stereo, the vocals over here and the instruments over here, it kind of gets to me a little bit, but I don't mind it so much on the album Help. I really like that. I have 4 or 5 copies of Revolver. I think 3 or 4 in stereo and then 1 original mono. It's my Japanese stereo. It sounds amazing back there. But I'm gonna have to get Revolver because it's one of my favorite albums of all time, and one of my favorite Beatles albums of all time. Definitely try to get Rubber. Well, I don't know about Rubber Soul now. There's a couple albums in the box that were used. The original '87 remaster, which was Rubber Soul, is one of them. I can't remember the other one. But as far as like the later Beatles work, I'm gonna get like a Magical Mystery Tour. That's definitely one of them, and I'd get it in stereo because it's true stereo versus the artificial stereo that were the original stereo pressings back in the day. Yeah, they've had real stereo mixes on this new reissue. So I definitely would want to pick that one up. And then, geez, what else? Yeah, and that's probably going to be about it. Maybe the Past Masters too in stereo. And that's it for the stereo pressings. When the mono box set comes out, I'm going to definitely have to pick that one up. So that's what I'm looking out for. And who knows, maybe, you know, as I maybe I'll pick one up in there, you know. Yeah, so that's it. That's my 2 cents on the Beatles remasters for my limited experience with them right now. So, yeah, I think they're really well made overall. You know, I was a little bit disappointed in the kind of cardstock that they, you know, chose to press the jackets on. The artwork does look really great. I mean, I'd peel back the shrink a little bit. It's just glossy and really nice. I can see why maybe they cut a few corners on the price, choosing the lighter materials for these albums. They're going to sell millions of them. Well, maybe not millions, but you know, I mean, they're going to sell a lot. And that costs money. So anyway, I'm going to make a couple more videos here today. Here, I got some free time. All caught up on everything. I'll be back with the recent vinyl finds. And